Hey there, this is Mega Knight with JamFam Gaming. I figured I'd try and do a beginner's guide for anyone that might be interested. So I created this alt about a week ago, and take it from here. So let me get into the game. So some of the things I'm going to cover is how to use your gems, stamina, your gear, and whether or not you should be enhancing it early on. Some of the important heroes, especially for free-to-play players, how to handle your summons, and maybe a few other things here and there. So you can see I'm about, I guess, 8 days into this account. Let's talk about some of the heroes real quick that you want to keep an eye out for, especially for free-to-play. Now you get Morgan for free, you get Tristan for free, you get Turin for free, and you get Kay for free, which is a pretty good starting point, and obviously Arthur for free. So with those 5 heroes, you can pretty much get pretty far in story mode, as well as when you unlock the power-up dungeons and start trying to level up your characters. A few others to keep an eye out for as far as rares and uncommons go. Clementine, she's kind of one of my personal favorites because I'm a big fan of attack gauge manipulation, and she's really good at that. Anguish, keep an eye out for. You get him for free on day 14, but he'll be really good for Burning Lands, the power-up dungeon with Gorgos. Most of the damage you're going to be doing, especially at the higher levels, is going to be based on damage over time, which he is really good at. Jarrett is also going to be pretty much required, especially early on, because he can clear the burns that Gorgos will be applying to your team. And Isolde, while not necessary, can also help with Gorgos. A few others to keep an eye on. Cormac is very good in Arena, especially when you're able to get his Frost Relic. Rosier is also halfway decent early on in the arena, and she can also help you on Gorgos. Accolon will eventually be needed once you open up Frozen Plain with Aldri, and so you don't need to level her up right away, but maybe as you have extra resources to go ahead and start leveling her up. Let's talk about your gems. You will be getting gems for rewards, for achievements, your daily packages. I've already gotten it here, but you get 20 free gems every day, and then you will also get 100 free gems and a special summons every week. So they do tend to add up pretty quick, especially for free to play. And if you are free to play, I would recommend being kind of frugal on how you spend them. You can spend them in the summons for either rate up or special summons. I would not recommend that. That's not really the biggest bang for your buck. And when you get into your summons after you've done 60 and haven't pulled a legendary hero yet, you'll get a pity summoning. So that's kind of the only time I would recommend maybe using your gems on that pity summon to get that that legendary hero. So now I've already hit my pity or recently pulled a legendary, I luckily got Bedivere, which in my opinion is probably he is the best DPS. And when you're doing your summons, definitely do not do the one-off summons. Wait till you have 10, because then you are a guaranteed rare hero on the special summons. So I'll go ahead and do this and see what we get. So I did get an extra Clementine Shard. I did get a new Boars and another extra Rosier Shard to go toward their Chivalry. And then normal summons, I don't have the 10 yet, so I'm going to wait on that. Another thing about your summons, it's not really a thing to worry about early on, but keep in mind about this shard shop. So as you level up your hero's Chivalry, you'll be able to trade in those extra memory stones for currency in this shard shop, as well as so you can do your hero shards and your hero's relic shards, and then you can exchange here for both your heroes and relics. Stamina is not necessarily an issue early on. The one thing I would be mindful of, so you'll get a lot of these stamina chests, so I would be careful about kind of using those up all at once, because every time you hit a level on your character, you'll get a basically a free stamina to refill to whatever your current max is. So my max right now is 92. So I would keep an eye on where your gauge is here, and not load up on too much stamina, because then you'd be missing out on some free stamina. On your story mode, it's not too important to worry about healers. It's really most important on getting your heroes leveled. You most likely won't need any healing, at least until you get to maybe 9 and 10, and depending on how well your heroes are already built. So I'll talk about now the power-up dungeons that you get early on. You get your Plane of Beasts and your Burning Lands. I forget where they unlock in the story mode, but we'll talk about Plane of Beasts. And I've cleared through level 6. Level 7 is where you want to get to and be able to farm on auto because of these important mythic mana orbs. Those are what will allow you to get your heroes from level 50 to level 60. And when you are farming, just keep in mind you can change to 3x here, and when you go to do your repeat battle, make sure you click on this prioritize attacking bosses. It'll go a lot quicker if they're not trying to focus on the limbs or tusks or whatever it might be. So this is actually a pretty good team for Penvid, really all the way to level 10. You get most of these for free. Now I use Clementine, but you can use Tauren because you get that for free. I'm not going to go ahead and do this, but my recommendation is to try and get as high as you can, and then whichever one you can't clear, go back and farm the one before it. Equipment dungeons unlock, again, I forget where that unlocks, but as you progress through your story mode, you'll be able to unlock these equipment dungeons. And we'll take the red dragon here. I call him YSK because I can't pronounce his name. The key to these is kind of getting as high as you can, as early as you can, to start leveling up your gear. You want to try and craft as much vigor gear on most of your heroes, especially Morgan, your healers, Anguish, and whatnot. And when you go into these dungeons, it'll give you recommendations on which heroes to use. See, I do have Morgan. I do have Frederick, but I don't really use him, especially early on. It's not really necessary. And then after clearing Chapter 7 in story mode, you'll be able to come in here and start crafting gear. Most of your gear up to this point will probably be mostly 1 and 2 stars, some 3 stars maybe. And then you can start coming in here and start crafting your gear. That'll really help your heroes. And if we go down here for vigor, again, I would try and start crafting the vigor gear for your heroes. For your rings, pretty much all your heroes you're going to want attack speed, so kind of keep crafting those until you get attack speed. A lot of your heroes that are going to be using vigor, you're going to want an effect accuracy primary, so keep an eye out for those. Same thing with Morgan. You're going to probably want a vigor set for your 4 set and an accuracy set on your 2 set. I wouldn't necessarily worry too much about enhancing your equipment early on unless you get kind of some really good pieces that like from rewards or whatever. Plus you don't want to waste resources on especially 3-star equipment. The only time I would worry about enhancing equipment is for your Royal Road achievements. So when you go into your Royal Road, as you're progressing through the game, you will have these achievements that give you various rewards, and there are some in here. Not an adventure, a Path to Power, where enhance equipment times 40 you'll have to complete to progress further in the adventure for the achievements. When it comes to achievements, keep an eye out on those, especially for restricted area as you're going through Plain of Beasts and Burning Lands. When you're starting out at the first levels 1, 2, 3, they'll be pretty easy to clear, and the achievements don't stack. So after you clear the first level, you'll have to come in here, claim, beat the second level, come back in here and claim. So just keep an eye on that, because you get some pretty good rewards from these achievements. I'll take that one here. As you can see, you get gold and gems for completing a lot of these achievements. So just keep going back in there, especially on the challenge achievements, as you get some of these heroes and their relics. You pretty much get free gems here just for leveling up a lot of your heroes. And then they have these keep an eye on these challenge missions at the bottom for clearing certain power-up dungeons with a certain hero's relic. So as you get some of these new relics, just come back in here and double check to see if you've completed those. Yeah, I think that's about it for now. Thanks for watching. If you like my content, Give me a subscribe, a like. I appreciate it. Have a good one.